Save one.
Hi, it's Gooseboomer. Today I'll tell you about unknowns and mysteries about Caspar David Friedrich and how he painted impressive and tremendous paintings during the Romantic period. Don't forget to like and share this video. Nothing but Caspar David Friedrich, the central artist in this group of German Romantic painters, is ever straightforward. He was born in Greifswald, near the Baltic coast of modern Germany. At the time, though, that was part of Swedish Pomerania, as it had been since 1630, and Friedrich considered himself to be part Swedish as a result, even though he opted for German nationality and lived for the most of his adult life in the city of Dresden. Like the most of that day, his childhood was marred by tragedies. His mother died when he was only 7. One brother died when he was 13, a sister the following year, and another sister when he was 17. After showing his driving ability in classes at his local university, he studied at the prestigious Copenhagen Academy between 1794 and 1908, then returned to his hometown. In the autumn of 1798, he moved to Dresden, where he soon started traveling to draw and sketch on the Baltic coast, on Rügen, in the Harz Mountains, and Bohemia. He met Philip Otto Runk and started exhibiting with the Dresden Academy. During these early years, he concentrated on sepia drawings and experimented with woodcut prints. In 1805, he won a prize that attracted the attention of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, who was already a key figure in the wider Romantic movement. After that, he started to concentrate on landscape paintings in oils. Friedrich exhibited the course in the mountains, now more popularly known as the Taschen altar, in his studio in 1808, apparently a commission for a family chapel in Bohemia, although it was reported as having significant impact on those who saw it. Critics were unimpressed with his use of a religious motive within what was essentially a landscape painting. For the only time in his career, Friedrich responded to the critics by explaining his intentions, comparing the rays of evening sunlight to the light of God the Father. One of his earliest paintings in which fog was a feature is his Morning Mist in the Mountains from 1808. This shows the Honigstein massif near Retten on the River Alp and has a distinctly Chinese look, of course. Another of his early successes, The Abbey in the Oak Wood from 1808-10, offers a dark vision of death, gloom, and the depths of Gothic horror. This shows the ruins of a church amid gnarled and barren trees, silhouetted against a twilight sky. Hanging low in the sky is a thin silver of the new moon. In the gathering murk, we can just distinguish the dark shadows of graveyard memorials and a funeral procession bearing a coffin into the remains of the church entrance. Even the horizon is lost in the cloak of darkness covering the land. This was exhibited at the Berlin Academy in 1810 and earned him election to that academy the following year. Friedrich's winter landscape from about 1811 is notable as one of the last oil paintings attest to use the blue pigment smalt. Perhaps Friedrich found it more suitable for its subtle color transitions. It's one of several of his paintings containing the dam he established in the cross in the mountains, here combining a crucifix with a cathedral in the snow of a German winter. Leaning against a rock in front of the crucifix is a lone figure who appears to have cast away his crutches in a miraculous healing. In 1812, King Frederick William III bought Frederick's painting Morning in the Reisenberg. In 1815, Frederick was elected to the Dresden Academy. 2 years later, he met the polymath Carl Gustav Keyrus and the Norwegian landscape artist Johann Christian Clausen Dahl, both of whom became his pupils and lifelong friends. Earlier in his career, Frederick had painted several motifs, including sailing vessels, which are not dissimilar to those shown here. In this morning, boats depart. A series of small boats are seen leaving the coast, although shadows aren't shown. This view appears to look northeast, and the vessels are for leisure rather than fishing. Frederick's earlier coastal nocturnes include meticulously detailed views such as this of Greifswald in moonlight, showing his hometown, which by this time had passed Denmark to Prussia. Frederick's famous Wanderer Above the Sea of Mists uses extensive mist and cloud both to detect its scenery from ground level and to maintain its pervasive air of mystery. A bare-headed blond man stands astride a rocky outcrop in the foreground, a walking stick in his right hand. Looking in the same direction as the viewer, he and we look out over a blanket of lava cloud, pierced by occasional rock pinnacles and peaks. In the distance, more gradual slopes suggest higher mountains to the sides and verdure forms of rounded peaks and a massive rocky butte fading into mist. Cause we can't see anything of his face, the figure remains anonymous and a mystery as the view. Marriage brought a transformation to Frederick's paintings, as shown in this famous view of chalk cliffs on Rügen, painted at some time following his honeymoon visit. Here are dazzling white pinnacles of chalk, a calm sea with sailing vessels, shown in full daylight, the whole framed by trees in full leaf to enhance depth. But each of its three figures is looking away into the view as Rückenfiguren. They might represent his bride clad in red symbolizing love, and himself, both engaged in studying the cliff top from its edge. But there is a third person, a man wearing a tricorn hat, arms folded, staring out to the sea as if the couple weren't there at all. It has been suggested that this third figure is Friedrich the artist. Not only did he have the three puzzling figures, but he exaggerated the chalk pinnacles and made the distant sails look like thin shards of chalk to add to its vertiginous effect. Then, as if to confuse, 7 or 8 years later, when Frederick visited Rügen again, he painted in watercolor what might appear to have been a study for that oil painting. The three figures are gone. In 1819, Frederick was visited by Prince Christian Frederick of Denmark, and the following year by Grand Duke Nikolai Pavlovich, who later became Emperor Nicholas I of Russia and Frederick's patron. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe this channel if you enjoyed it. Also, if you want to take lessons on oil painting techniques, you can check out the lessons I give on Patreon. Goodbye till we meet in another video. Bye bye.